The dream's still alive for Darlington, though. The white-shirted heroes from the Vauxhall Conference frightened the life out of Cambridge. David Cork and Paul Empson were a constant threat, and when Empson tried a cheeky lob, he wasn't that far away. In the second half, Empson again was within inches of a goal. He and Cork combined, and after a solo run, Empson fired against a post from 25 yards. John Vaughan in Cambridge goal, well beaten. Cambridge's best chance came late on. Their best two players, Chris Ledbetter and Lee Philpott, combined well to set up Dion Dublin. Drew Coverdale almost reflecting into his own net.
And signing, here now, is Steve Sutton.
Well, Newcastle Havard Cup dreams ended last night against 4th Division Cambridge. After playing them off the park, but alas failing to score on Saturday, last night's replay went sadly wrong in front of 9,000 fans. A great start for Darlington. After 30 minutes, Les McJanet's cross eluded everybody, 1-0 to the Quakers. The second half and the big talking point. Good work by David Cork set up Archie Stephens. But did he use his head or his hand? The linesman gave it, the referee didn't. From then on, gloom for the Darlington fans. John Taylor's strike crept agonisingly over the line. 2 minutes later, Cambridge went ahead. Lee Philpott left the home defence in his wake. Goalkeeper Mark Prudder didn't stand a chance. And to rub salt into the Vauxhall Conference side's wounds, the 4th Division outfit made it 3-1 near full time. But what about the disallowed goal?
Archie claims to have headed the ball, but it's like the kid. I mean, Archie would obviously say that. He probably thinks he has done that. Only perhaps your cameras can prove whether that's right or not. But he felt he headed the ball. And I think the linesman seemed to give a goal, but the referee disallowed it. But, you know, that's what the referee's there for, to make decisions. It's his decision. He obviously has done a decision which he feels is right. But we never... Although, I think, as I said, till 60 minutes, I always felt we were the better side. And then their goal came right out the blue, a great shot. And we were always chasing the game then.
Farmers in the...
After half an hour, the Vauxhall Conference side took the lead. McJanet's cross didn't look too demanding, but Vaughan punched the air and Darlington were ahead. At the start of the second half, Darlington thought they'd scored again. Stephens certainly put the ball in the net, but the goal was ruled out, apparently for handball. From there, it was all downhill for Darlington. Taylor scored his 14th goal of the season. 3 minutes later, Philpott set off on a run from deep in his own half that earned full marks for stamina and for coolness under pressure at the end. Probability became certainty when Dublin made it 3-1, leaving Darlington's manager Brian Little to contain his disappointment.
Archie claims to have headed the ball, but it's like the kid. I mean, Archie would obviously say that. He probably thinks he has done that. Only perhaps your cameras can prove whether that's right or not. But he felt he headed the ball. And I think the linesman seemed to give a goal, but the referee disallowed it. But, you know, that's what the referee's there for, to make decisions. It's his decision. He obviously has done a decision which he feels is right. But we never... Although, I think, as I said, till 60 minutes, I always felt we were the better side. And then their goal came right out the blue, a great shot. And we were always chasing the game then.
Conference couldn't get this ball away. And when it fell to John Borthwick, he fired in an unstoppable shot. Enfield, in fact, though, equalised 40 seconds after the restart, but David Corner got the winner for Darlow with 20 minutes to go. 2-1, the final score there. Let's sort out the Scottish second division against Enfield.
The Quakers have slipped off the top of the conference due to a heavy number of games in hand. A goal after 5 minutes seemed to point to a quick return to pole position. John Borthwick latches onto the loose ball and strikes the cleanest of shots into the top corner. Enfield have a proud non-league record, but this season are struggling at second bottom. But they were determined to make Darlington work all the way. 30 seconds into the second half, the home side surrenders possession. And when Gary Abbott gets to the ball first, Mark Prudder and his defensive colleagues can't scramble it away. But the winning habit is well worth acquiring, and Darlington proved they have a taste for it by producing a window. A Newcastle-like back pass, John Borthwick pounces. Combines with David Cork to give David Corner the chance to notch his 11th of the season, enough to take Darlington back to the top on goal difference.
One bit of transfer news that almost happened today, but didn't. 4th Division Scarborough, we're talking for a quarter of a
is involved in the FA Trophy match at Darlington on Saturday. Darlington beat Macclesfield 1-0, but the visitors had a player and their manager sent off. Steve Sutton reports.
It was billed as the toughest tie of the round, but no one could have expected the war which broke out. Darlington scored inside 12 minutes, but the referee disallowed it. However, on 22 minutes, they did make it 1-0. David Corner it was, his 12th goal of the season. But Corner's elation was short-lived. Macclesfield were on the attack with 36 minutes gone, when the game's first ugly incident occurred. It was off the ball and out of sight of referee Wolstenholme. Steve Burr had elbowed Corner in the face. For a moment, it seemed everybody wanted a piece of the action, before Burr was ordered to leave the field. Corner was left with a black eye and a cut lip. Into the second half, and Macclesfield came closest to scoring. They switched from defence to attack with virtually one kick, and for once Darlington's calm defence looked decidedly jittery. So 1-0 to Darlington, and with Macclesfield out of the way, they must be favourites to get to Wembley.
At present, we're top of the Conference League, which is the highest standard for all the teams that are in this competition. Macclesfield was second underneath us. The third and fourth teams are out of the competition, so you know, I think a lot of people will be wanting to stay clear of us. That doesn't mean that we will get to Wembley, but should we play to our potential, then obviously we are the team to be beaten.
And Darlington play either Wivenhoe Town or Runcorn at home in the next round.
Well, now back to the Wembley. Back to Brighton.
Feetham's in February is a long way from Wembley in springtime, and Darlington's march in the FA Trophy almost got off to a disastrous start when Runcorn's Tommy Miller saw his shot come back off keeper Mark Crudder. The two sides have met 3 times already this season. The score so far, 1-1, drawn 1, lost 1. And just before the interval, Paul Empson should have edged the series the Quakers' way with a golden chance. But the turning point in the match followed 2 minutes of madness from Darlington defender David Corner. He was booked for tripping Carter just outside the penalty area. Then, when he wrestled the same player to the ground, the referee said enough's enough. And the man who's played at Wembley for Sunderland was on his way out the game. 10-man Darlington still rattled Runcorn when Gray's corner was helped on by Borthwick, and skipper Kevin Smith was in the right place. 1-0. Runcorn did rally in the last quarter hour. The best chance fell to Ian Wone. He missed, and Darlington were into the last 8 of the FA Trophy.
Wembley way has seen them into the quarter-finals of the FA Trophy. They've been drawn away to either Leek Town or Telford United, but the Quakers will now be most people's favourites to lift the trophy. But they made it hard for themselves against Runcorn on Saturday, especially after centre-half David Corner was booked for that tackle on Mark Carter. 2 minutes later, Corner comes up with a challenge as daft as the Runcorn shirts on exactly the same player. And this time, he's off. Fortunately, the ex-Sunderland defender can still dream of a second Wembley appearance, and that thanks to a 68th minute winner from his skipper Kevin Smith. Coming up here after the knock-on. Corner, though, will be available for the next round.